today is social media in Brunei, a horrifying beast or majestic animal. Very daunting, isn't it? And I will say this, unemployment rate in Brunei can be solved by social media. Crazy, right? But I feel that it's the right topic. It's the right topic and the right time to talk about it right now. Because I feel that we're at a junction right now in social media in Brunei and whatnot, where it could go either way. It could either be very negative and turn into, as you say, a horrifying beast, or become very positive, a majestic animal. But let's talk about the theme. The theme for TEDx. Youth development. How do we develop our youth? How do we develop them? How do we develop you guys into becoming, an integral part of Brunei and economy? Big things I expected out of you guys. Amazing things I expected out of you guys. You guys are supposed to pull this country out of the rut that we're in right now. Do you guys think you can do that?
Yes.
Good answer. Just waiting for that. Very optimistic person. But some might say, and very recently, in a gathering in Brunei, someone very prominent said that our youth are lazy. They're very picky with jobs. Pemalas katanya ni. Do you guys agree with that? Your opinion? A bit more conviction this time. Do you guys agree with that? No, of course not. You guys are here, you're at UTB, you're studying, you're following your dreams, whatever they may be. So of course you're not lazy. So of course some people with arguments. For me, I will say that we're not doing enough for you guys. We're not developing you guys enough. Because as Miss Yati touched on just now, it's very archaic views. Ke sekolah, you go to school, belajar, get good grades, keluar, graduate, dapat kerja. Get a nice job, get married, have kids, blah 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 blah. That kind of life. But it's not like that anymore. Especially here in Brunei, where if you're a local, we live in a bubble. Economically, society, everything. We live in a bubble. Global recession happened a couple of years ago. What happened to Brunei? If you guys can remember. What happened to Brunei? During the global recession, everyone was up in raw. Country is going to fail, US is going to fail, economy is going to fail. What happened in Brunei? Kept carrying on. Yeah. I still buy minyak. I still buy nasi katok, seringgit. Price of nasi katok didn't go up to like $5. Exactly. We live in a bubble. That's why I say we're not developing you guys enough. It's on us, the elders, that we didn't do enough for you guys. But, with my topic today, I will argue that the answer is already there. The answer is social media and the internet by large. Alright, so let's talk about social media. Who here, hold on. Before we talk about social media, let's talk about the internet first. Because that's where social media is, the internet. A bit of history for you guys. We're a bit of like Googling, 15 minutes, 3 minutes, apa juga yang 15-20 minutes Googling on the internet. You will find that it actually started in 1960s. 1960s, federal government of the United States that actually started this. They funded the research to build a robust, not faulty computer network system. And it was called ARPANET. 1960s, huh? 1960s, 70s, 80s, all the way there, they developed it. But internet as we know it now, it was birthed in 1991 by a Mr. Tim Berners-Lee. He created a paper that was titled Information Management. Simple title for an internet. Information management. What he did in that paper, or what he tried to argue, or what he tried to do, was he decided to find ways on how to take information or identify information or digital objects and browse through them. That's how we came about the term browsers. You know, when you're actually on your PC, not on your phones. You know, browsers, internet browsers. And the very first internet or website was called http.info.cern.ch. Now a bit of quiz. Who here knows CERN? C-E-R-N. C-E-R-N. CERN Center. They're doing a lot of great things right now. There you go. Champion. He knows his stuff. So that was the first internet. That was the first website. And what's amazing about this story, for me personally, is that this guy created the internet, or a way to browse the internet, and he didn't patent his technology. He didn't put his name on it. He put it out, and because of that, thousands and thousands of programmers built upon his foundations and automatically spawns millions of websites. Imagine that. Imagine that kind of tech, that kind of thinking happening here in Brunei. I think that could happen. Nowadays, with the kind of information that we get in Brunei, through the internet, through other people, like for example, just now with AI, with Mr. Bacha, that was amazing work. AI. We could develop our own AI here. When you go to the Naskata place, you don't even need to order. The AI can tell from your face, you want which type of sambal, which type of nasi, berapa ayam. You don't even need to say anything. And then with all that, transfer from your DVD. Harus. You just pick up nasi balik. That's crazy. But I know I'm speaking to a small percentage here. Who here remembers how the internet came into Brunei during the 90s? Who here used the internet in Brunei in the 90s? Hands up. 3. It was an experience, wasn't it? Using the internet like that. You know, you had to load up your PC, turn on your iOS, log into your user page, connect the phone line to your PC. Make sure nobody was using the phone, because kalau ada orang pakai, ngomong connector. And then we had to hear that awful tone dial-up that most probably came from some other world. And then after connecting to the internet, you check your Hotmail, you check what's on yahoo.com, you know, you chat on MSN, you know, you see what's been going on in MIRC. You see what you can download off it.
Oh my god.
It was like a dinosaur. It was like a dinosaur. But personally for me, when I was 14, 15 back then, I knew back then that this thing could have huge impacts in Brunei. Almost monstrous. Because I was always on it. Until my parents said, you spend another minute on the internet, we're going to cut the phone lines. And my dad did. Dia gunting, potong niya wireless.
Literally.
No wireless, there you go. No wireless, everything was still hardwired. But nowadays, it's not like that. Nowadays, you don't need to carry a PC. You don't even need to carry a laptop sometimes. All you need is this little thing, where literally internet and information is on your fingertips. There is no more reason to be ignorant in this day and age. Being the locals. How many of you know, speaking to your friends, cousins, families, or boyfriend, girlfriend, how many of you have heard the phrase, "Oh, aku nggak tahu, kenapa kan?" How many of you have heard that phrase growing up in Brunei? "Oh, aku nggak tahu, kenapa kan?" That personally irks me. That irks me to the bone. That they take pride in their ignorance. And you know what they say? Pride begets a fall. They say pride comes before a fall. That's why I say social media and the internet is the savior for unemployment in Brunei. Because nowadays, there's a lot of things to do on the internet. You have Facebook, LinkedIn, Amazon, Uber, what else? Reddit, you have YouTube, Wikipedia, you know, all sorts of stuff to do online. But personally, zooming in, how is Brunei rated in using the internet? How are we seen to be using the internet as a country? Did you guys know that 80% of us are on Facebook? 80% of the country is on Facebook. 400,000 plus people, 80% of that is on Facebook. Our internet penetration is 90%. 90% of the people in Brunei are using internet. And do you guys realize that that's a higher number than Singapore and South Korea?
Yep.
Singapore only has 82%. South Korea only has 87%. And how are they doing with technology?
Very advanced.
They're doing crazy stuff, especially South Korea, right? What are we doing with technology?
Social media.
Go on Facebook. Salam, admin, hide my name. See, that's a guilty pleasure that all of us does. That's a guilty pleasure that all of us does. Then we start reading, you know. It's our guilty pleasure. But is that all that we're meant to do? Going on Facebook, Instagram, you know, because mostly that's how we use internet, right? In Brunei, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Maybe every now and then Dart, I don't know. Whoever uses Dart here. Then maybe Amazon.
Okay, we use that.
You know, maybe eBay. But for our social media penetration, in 2017, according to Internet World Stat, we sat behind UAE and Qatar in global rankings. The way we use social media, it's almost like the major developed countries. At a crazy rate. That's a crazy rate for me. You know, to be up there with Singapore, South Korea, UAE, Qatar. Just, you know, let that sit for a moment. Because, like I said, we do sit and bubble. And sometimes we don't even realize the amount of internet, the amount of social media that we use in this country. And, you know, I think one of the speakers said this before. A lot of things can be done on social media. A lot of things can be done on the internet. I'm pretty sure that we have at least three WhatsApp groups that we check every day. Family, friends, and then maybe our cliques, you know, stay updated, you know, see what's happening. With them. Are we doing something useful with our social media, with the internet? are we building relationships on social media? Or even going as far as, are we earning money out of social media? You know, nowadays, there's a lot of people that try to sell something on Facebook, Instagram, you know, WhatsApp, you know, sellers group, private sellers. I think that's a good step in the right direction. But everything's jumbled up right now. Everything's a bit of a mess on social media, especially when you try to sell something, especially when you try to do something. But I think now it's time to dedicate our full focus on the online community and social media. Because, as I agreed with Ms. Yati just now, what we're trying to do in general is archaic. You know, trying to find a job, you know, putting out your CV, you know, getting rejected 200 plus times from a job. Why not you pursue something that you're passionate about? Why not you try to build something on social media? Why not you try to make a living you're trying to earn from social media? Because, as I mentioned before, 80% of us are there already. And from a business view standpoint, that's 80% of potential customers already. That's on there. So why aren't you doing anything with them, to them, or discussing with them? And if you say it's impossible, I say look around. Because there's already a few prominent Bruneians that is doing it, that have done it, and they are looking to do it. I'll drop off a few names. Ranadidas, Nazri, Bobusino, Kurapa, Alpo Brunei, Mirul Agni. And that's just social media influencers, you know. Looking beyond them, how about online stores? Like 9.com, like Store Ketagi. And maybe even going beyond that, what about those physical stores? The bricks and mortar stores that are spending less on traditional media, traditional marketing means, and more on social media marketing. Because they know that it'll be really foolish of them not to try to connect to their customer base. Because 80 to 90% of them are there already. If you compare to doing traditional marketing means, traditional marketing media, where if you just put up a banner, cool, you got a banner, you got a nice banner, you got to go somewhere. Do you know how many people saw that banner? Do you know how many people actually read the banner while driving? I don't read banners while I'm driving. Right? Exactly. So why not, instead of doing banners on the road, you do banners on your social media page? Because that way you can actually analyze it. You can actually keep track of it. You can actually start making sense of the data, whether people actually like your banner or you just like your banner as a business owner. Because that's another stigma in Brunei, where business owners, they put out what they like. It doesn't work like that in the world. In the world, business put out what their customers like, what their target audience like. And I'm not exaggerating when I say we should 100% focus our efforts on social media and the online marketplace. Because if we do that, right, if we do that, we're actually opening up new industries in Brunei. New industries, new jobs that hasn't previously been done before in Brunei. I'm talking about new technology, I'm talking about data collection, data analysis, digital marketing, digital media, content creation, content editing, such as AI just now with Mr. Bachak, that could actually breathe a fresher breath air into Brunei's economy, where it's almost seen stagnant. New industries mean new jobs for you guys. And everything is there already. Everything is online. Everything is on social media. If you want to learn, you want to pick up new skills, easy. Look it up online. There's bucket loads of websites and apps that you can download, that you can access to learn new stuff. What's stopping you from learning new stuff that you could actually use to earn a living? That's why I say it irks me when I hear someone say, "Oh, aku na tahu, kenapa kan?" That's why it irks me, because ignorance is not a viewpoint anymore, and we should leave that. We should have left that like 5-10 years ago. And all that's required out of you is that time, dedication, commitment, and passion. Don't even have to pay for these things. You don't even need to pay for these things. So what's stopping you? But most importantly of all, this requires passion. You need to be passionate about what you're trying to do. You need to be passionate in what you're trying to earn. Because if you're not passionate with what you're trying to earn, then confirm for sure, after a few months, you're going to drop it. And like previous speakers before this, it's not going to happen overnight. That's a viewpoint that me and several prominent local social media people share. It's not going to happen overnight. Along with that, you need to be positive. You need to be open-minded. You need to keep on learning. Because I graduated from Australia in 2012. I was there for 7 years. Sasak di negeri orang, 7 tahun belajar. Oh, sasak. Macam kampung sendiri sudah tu di sana tu. Ningau. But I graduated back then. Now, what year this is, I'm still learning. And that's a common misconception that I've come across with business owners. That they think, oh, what a business is that? I have a business. I don't need to learn anymore. I'm earning money. Let my staff learn. Need to be passionate, because if you're passionate about what you're trying to do, it will push you further and harder than anything before. Because it's that passion that's going to keep you up sampai pukul 1 malam, trying to learn, trying to break through the new industries, trying to break through on how to earn in Brunei. Now, imagine if 10 people started this, on this path. Imagine if 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 10,000 of you guys doing this. And you guys work together. I'll tell you right now, there's going to be a beautiful sight, and Brunei is in for a new dawn. Trust me. Because then we'll be venturing into something new, to something that's really awe-inspiring. Because then youth development are now in the youth's hand. It's not in our hands anymore. Now, on that path, you're taking the future into your own hands. You're not, you're not going out anymore to the office, bagi CV, hoping for a job, trying to earn a living. And with the internet, when it first started out, just like the youth development in Brunei, it can be limitless as well. That's why I picked the topic of social media in Brunei, a horrifying beast where everything can go wrong and everything will go wrong, or a majestic animal where it's a positive for good and will keep on being positive. Something to ponder on. Thank you for listening to Troublemaker.